motivation to send a strong contingency because you know the Pitt faithful will follow. 184 and a change for the Panthers. A couple of wrestlers getting an opportunity. Caleb Helgeson in there for Iowa State. Normally for Pitt, it's Reese Heller, but we were informed upon arrival today it's going to be Chase Kranitz. Normally a weight for Iowa State that's occupied by their Utah Valley transfer, Evan Bachman. Bachman out with an illness for the second straight duel. So here comes Helgeson onto the Hilton Coliseum floor. No Bachman, no Heller, so it's Helgeson and Kranitz at 184 today for the Cyclones and the Panthers. Chase Kranitz, redshirt sophomore, Irwin, Pennsylvania. He was a transfer that Keith Gavin brought in from the MAC, wrestled for Buffalo last year. He took third at the MAC championships.
I think we might, unfortunately, be seeing some more wrestlers from the MAC as Cleveland State cut their wrestling program.
Yeah, I hated to see that news a few weeks back, and I've heard unofficial rumors through the grapevine that there's a big push to try to save that program still as they're working at some alternatives. So hopefully, especially with the NCAA's heading to Cleveland, just devastating to hear that news with Cleveland State.
Nice shot right there. Re-attack from Kranitz.
He missed on that first foot sweep, misses a second one. Again, look at Helgeson's agility.
Nice awareness right there.
That's 4 sweeps that he has high hurdled cleanly right over the top of. Tremendous job by Caleb Helgeson.
Multi-sport athlete.
Showing some of that athleticism. And there's the 3. So good job by Kranitz to stay with it. In this case, the 5th time was the charm.
Persistence is everything. They say nothing will take the place of it. Yeah, it's one of those things like with wrestling, where are we going? What do we need to do to showcase and grow our sport so that the level is and the people show up and are excited about it, they're knowledgeable about it? Is it betting? Is it content? Is it storylines? Like, what has to happen in wrestling? And so that's a question wrestling needs to ask themselves.
I do like the addition of the national duels next November. That is officially set. The 16 teams that will be competing not set. That's still to be determined. And you look at both these programs that we're watching today, obviously Iowa State and Pitt, 2 teams that I think would make a strong claim to garner an invitation to that national dual tournament, which is scheduled for Tulsa next November. No points awarded near the edge. Good job there by Helgeson, and we go back to the center.
Ref gives him some time to figure that one out. I thought that was a beautiful attack by Kranitz. He wasn't able to sneak that right hand below the waist and collect the other leg.
When you've watched Chase Kranitz, mainly at his time with Buffalo, he's wrestled pretty much 3 weights. Started at 65, went up to 74. Now this year, 84 for the Panthers in the backup role. Short time in this first period. Kranitz with that early takedown, and he will take a 3-1 lead into the second period. And Kyvan, we were talking off air when we both arrived as we go back real quickly to these foot sweeps, and eventually Kranitz able to get the takedown. But this is a weight where normally it's Evan Bachman, a 3-time NCAA qualifier, Reese Heller, a 2-time qualifier, both out with injury and illness. And we have just seen a rash of big-name injuries throughout the course of the year. I know for the Iowa State folks watching, it's impacted their program directly this season, but it's impacted a lot of programs. And is it just one of those asterisks that you're going to put by this year as a fluke, or is it a trend that we got to start paying a little bit more attention to?
I think if you look at the data, I think you always want to see what the data says and then make adjustments, but I don't think it's an asterisk. I think with COVID, you got young men in college wrestling a little bit longer than maybe typical because it is a grind, and to have that grind on your body for 5, 6, 7 years. What is youth wrestling playing in it? How many matches are these young people having, and what type of grind are they and toll are they putting on their body early before they're more developed? I think everybody needs to take a big look at the state of wrestling from youth through senior level and really think about, like, okay, how do we maximize this for everyone, and then make some adjustments. And if we don't, I don't know how much longer we'll survive. And that's scary to me, especially as a person that grew up loving wrestling, having to be around it, whether that was Eastern Michigan University, who no longer has a program, where my dad head coached from 92 to 97, to Iowa State. You know, like you and I was around that program. I was around the University of Iowa program. So I had the pleasure to be around a lot of different programs. And I would hate for wrestling to not be available for the next generation.
Hey, you look at the injuries, and again, they have hit everyone across the country, every conference. Everybody has been impacted for the most part.
Yep.
Big names, big stars that are crowd drawers, absent from lineups. Third period, not much of a change here. Kranitz continues with a 4-1 advantage. Helgeson underneath. Caleb Helgeson, the backup, both at 84 and 97, coming off a really solid high school career. Wrestled all 4 years for nearby Johnston High School. Won a state title his senior season. One of the reasons he chose Ames, not just location, knew a lot of guys on the Iowa State roster. Loved the atmosphere of Hilton Coliseum, and a duel like this against a really good program in Pitt. Opportunity to wrestle in front of the thousands here at Hilton Coliseum. A moment like this is why he chose Ames.
Absolutely. A minute and a half left in a tight duel in Hilton Coliseum.
Kranitz switching off to that single, has that leg up high into the air. Plenty of time to work. Gavin and Rosselli both up on their feet, directing what they want their sophomore to do, and he dials it up perfectly for 3.
That was a great job by Kranitz. Stayed patient and just let it all develop, and goes collect with his left leg and gets the takedown. But yeah, when you talk about, like, you know, Missouri's been injured, Iowa State's been injured, some guys from the University of Iowa's been injured. There's just been a lot of injuries across the board.
45 seconds, third period. Pitt looking for their second win today, and they are on their way. Kranitz gets 3 more and a 10-3 lead. So he has those ankles and legs, and out of bounds squirms Helgeson. Riding time will not be a factor in this one, so right now it's not a bonus point win for the Panthers, and Kranitz sensing that, knows he needs a takedown, so he's not going to waste any time on top. He'll look to get more points from his feet. Comes in hard off that right side. He's going to try to drag him. Does not really improve his position. That right foot close to going out of bounds, and they will roll out before control was established. One more start with just 10 seconds to go.
Good awareness right there from Helgeson not to give up that takedown on the edge.
So a Dylan Evans win for Pitt at 157, and now it's Chase Kranitz making the most of his opportunity in there for the injured Reese Heller. And he is going to pick up a 10-4 win. The Panthers raised their arm for the second time this afternoon. Gaitan and Augustine, the marquee matchup at 174. It went Iowa State's way, and then Kranitz, the transfer from Buffalo, secures the win for Pitt. We hit the home stretch from Ames when we come back.